So I want to just illustrate the difference between thinking and experiencing, or at least my understanding of the difference. There's a huge difference between thinking and experiencing, in that thinking is what most people use to try to get through their situations on a day-to-day basis, whether it be conversations, the tasks they have to complete, or navigating relationships between people. But there's one sole issue to that, is that all you're thinking is almost like a record in your brain. It's almost like your brain's ability to categorize, store, and understand your previous experiences. But the one issue with this is that means all your thinking is rooted in the past. I mean, this is coming to me right now, but when I was a young kid, I remember it was like sixth grade in my math class. We had a substitute, um, and I was a little bit of a class clown back then, if you will. I used to really get joy out of making other people laugh with me or at me for getting in trouble. Doesn't really matter. I think it was the mirror neurons that helped me feel joy when other people were smiling. But yeah, so in that time, I did the dumbest thing. I did the most stupid thing. I threw a paper ball at the substitute teacher thinking I'd be cool. The thing is, though, I never got caught for it that day. But when my teacher came back, she she had like 3 suspects on her list, and I was one of them. In my head, I was like, if I can just get through this without folding or cracking, and no one snitches on me, then I'll be good, you know. I remember that was like one of my first times really trying to think something out. It's funny that I'm saying that was one of the first times thinking something out, because it's a situation of me being a class clown. But I was trying to get my way out of this, social predicament that I had ran into. And I remember just thinking, like, how many scenarios can I make up in my head? What exactly would my teacher say in these certain situations? I'd have to have the self-belief that I could argue anything. I'd have to channel my inner lawyer if I was ever going to become one, if that was going to be my future path. And you'll soon find out why that was probably never in the cards for me. But yeah, all in all, I was just trying to think this through, A to Z, anything that could happen. And at the end of the day, everything though that I thought was a hybrid of different thoughts. Maybe some stuff that I'd seen on pop culture, some stuff I'd seen on TV, some stuff I'd had conversations with other people with. But I would take that and mesh that with the current situation. So I was basically combining thoughts to create this, I don't know, 30 scenario situation in my head, if you will. At the time, I thought that was the best course of action. I thought I would get off scot-free, but what I miss realizing is that life is always new. As you're, experiencing life, it's always new. It's never a one-to-one. At least more so often than not, it's not always a one-to-one of your past. Your past is not your future. Things are going to be different in a, at least like on a minute level. And the thing is like, if you try to live your future exactly like how your past was, it may bring you some sort of, even just a mild fear when things go wrong. It's almost like it's the same concept of preparing a speech. memorizing a speech, and going on, and then you realize you trip up on one part, and since your brain has wired, after however many times you practice, it's wired to say the next thing. It's not wired for that variability. It might just make you fear a little bit, and then next thing you know, all your memory's gone out the window. Next thing you know, you're just rambling because it's not part of the script. So if you're always relying on some sort of script, which is, in a way, what thinking is you're trying to create a script of what could potentially happen. You could be severely underusing your system. It's just, you know, if you're, it's the difference of that is experiencing where you're tapping into your intuition. Um, I'm not a huge proponent of the fact that a lot of people say that, oh, don't listen to yourself. Why not? If you're keeping a clean body, clean temple, you're doing the right things. You're not doing things that are stuck in your subconscious. You're working on yourself. All this, then I think cut all that out. If you're devoid of fear that something bad will happen, then I think it would be right to listen to your human intuition. I think human creativity is at the top. Um, Reviewing your past and trying to control your perception, which is what a lot of thinking is it's looking at your perception and categorizing things. I mean, some people have an inner monologue, some people don't, but categorizing things out of the need for control. A lot of it is people are overstimulated, and if they're able to at least understand what is in front of them, their mind can be a little bit more at ease. But at the end of the day, thinking actually does require energy. It requires effort. So when you're devoid of fear and devoid of thinking, you're actually most energetic. And when you're most energetic, you can probably produce some of your best work, or say the right thing in the right moment, or truly be in the situation that you're trying to navigate, as opposed to being outside of it and thinking that a certain version of you that you already have would solve that problem, or whatever the case may be, like that fit that requirement, if you will. So that's my understanding of thinking, really, is that it's not that it's a, I'm not, by no means am I saying that it's a bad, like it's great to store information, but thinking a lot of times can turn emotional, especially if you're in a broken loop of thinking. I mean, that's what a lot of people today suffer from, is they suffer psychologically, in the fact that they're in they're running in a circle, and they're thinking that if they speed up as much as they can, then they'll get somewhere. But in all reality, they've just been running in a circle their whole life without realizing that you can tangent off of that and start moving forward, or moving. I mean, life doesn't work in a linear way, like moving somewhere where you're experiencing as you go. So if you consistently are just moving within a circle like that, you're never getting anywhere, and you end up tiring yourself out. Why are people always tired? Why? If you're asking people why, oh, I'm tired, I don't feel well. I mean, if you're truly enjoying life and enjoying the work that you do, it actually is energy giving. It gives you energy. If you're having good conversations where you're not having to perform, it gives you energy. It makes you feel, you ever had a conversation with someone and be like, oh my God, I just feel amazing after that. You don't feel like depleted. You don't feel like you had to put on an act for someone. Yeah, I mean, thinking is the same thing, and when having conversations with people and truly connecting with them, is that you create a script in your head of what to say at this certain, but it never is one-to-one. It never is. So I guess I urge people just to step into the situation. Try to reduce your fear as much as you can. Through the, for me, that was through the doing of hard things, but that could be, delving into your creativity. There are many ways to reduce fear, but yeah, if you get into conversation, just jump into it and be present and wait for responses. Pause before you speak. You're just more likely to have a better conversation as opposed to extremely sped up one that you've had 1,000 times already with either that same person or 1,000 other people. Yeah, why not? I mean, we're here in this life to enjoy it, not to put on a performance or go to like drain the shit out of our energy on a daily basis. We're here to enjoy this life and enjoy the blessings that we do possess, not feel like they're a burden to us. So yeah, thinking is a great tool, but that's what it is. It's a tool. It's not really like you. It's just a part of you. Your intuition, however, your ability to face new experiences when you're not trying to line them up with a script or anything like that, is where your ability to see yourself create is born. You build something out of nothing. You don't build something out of a past version of something else. It could be used as a supplement, but it shouldn't invoke fear within you if it's not one-to-one exactly. I mean, isn't that a little naive to walk around in life and think that everything is going to be a one-to-one? It's extremely naive. Just throw your thinking out the window. You already have the answers if you're devoid of fear. You have what you need. And if it doesn't work out, it was probably meant to be. And mind you, I still got in trouble that day. I got like 3 detentions, and none of that 30 scenario analysis or 40 scenario analysis that I had concocted in my head did absolute shit. My teacher saw the anxiety within me, like sweating, trying to remember all of this together in unison, and she was like, "Yep, I know it too." Oh man, and yeah, that's a vivid memory that I have from when I was younger. I thought I was a fucking genius. All right, I thought I was a genius. So, hey, you gotta learn somehow, right? That's the point. Is you gotta learn.